What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Drawn for Mental Health. As you guys know, I am Colin. I also go by Clayton. My stuff is in the description. It's also in our bio. Please check it out. I am a graphic and concept artist. And this is my guy over here drinking that freaking water. Sounding like a gutter. What's your name?
Oh, my bad, bro. Give me a minute.
Rose and Ernie.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Benny, aka B Follow, aka the African Kid. Yeah, so I am an illustrator slash character designer slash just that dude. My stuff hopefully is down there or up there. I never really know where it shows up. It can show up here, but yeah, thanks for joining us. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope, everything's going swell. Your mental health is, is keeping up. I know it's probably been tough for some people lately. I don't know. I'm just saying. But I know for me, it's just been going on. But hey, anyway, I'm going to let my boy over there introduce.
Why has it been tough, Benny? Why would it be tough?
I'm going to let my boy over there introduce the topic. And then, and then we can get right into this, Go ahead, bro.
So, before we
Wait,
start...
hold on, whoa. What are you drawing?
I'm drawing Storm.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm drawing the same thing. I'm finishing my color, and then I'm moving on to the next drawing I did for vulnerability. I realized I never finished it. But anyway, go ahead. You were saying before I interrupted you.
I was going to say what we were drawing, actually, and then also what we do. While on this channel, we typically just draw. You've probably already seen our other videos, but we draw while talking about mental health. It's pretty, explanatory, but might as well explain it. But today's topic, I was thinking more of a heavier topic in my opinion. It's more of purpose, something that you're always thinking about. It's always on your mind. I don't think there's ever a time where you're not thinking about what's your life purpose, what are you striving to do, what are you on this earth for. I just wanted to talk about that and the mindset that typically happens with it, because I feel like there's a lot of times where you're just kind of trying to find it rather than changing your mindset about it, changing your mental on such a topic. And in my opinion, I feel like it's more of instead of you finding a purpose or finding a calling, it's more of you're putting purpose onto the thing that you're doing. And a lot of the time when you get locked up in trying to find a purpose, you don't necessarily find the thing that you're looking for, or you get too distracted by just doing that, trying to find a purpose. And the reason why I think in those type of connotation is because I feel like a lot of the time that I was in college, I was looking around trying to find something that I feel is my destiny, the thing that I was chosen for, the thing that I was born for. And with that type of mindset, you end up going around different places. I went towards architecture before I even went to college. I was thinking I might do architecture. I feel like I have artistic abilities. I'm good at math. It's you're trying to connect the dots as you're doing this stuff. But I was I'm good at math. I'm good at art. I think buildings are pretty some of the time. I could be an architect. I started researching into it because I chose it as my capstone for high school and realized I did not want to be an architect. That stuff is dumb. No offense. No offense to the architects. But it was not for me, because I don't know, art and architecture is like very different, and I realized that even more when I went to school because we kind of like shared a lab with the architect students, but that doesn't matter. Um, I thought I wanted to be in fitness. I was like, I can, do something that deals with the body. I'm interested in the body. I started working out in high school. I got really in depth into it. I was like, maybe this is a calling because it happened so later in my life, so it must be a sign. When you start to think in terms of that, it starts to become like cloudy and murky because you're like trying to connect the dots and like make it into something that would actually be um, sensible. And you're trying to just like look for things that are outside of like what you would normally consider. But I think in terms of like finding your purpose and putting meaning to it, it's more than just connecting dots. It's kind of like finding out what you would be passionate about for the rest of your life. For like 40 years, you're down the line and you're like, okay, what would I like to do? And sometimes that's not even a job.
Yeah.
Like, I know there are people out there who have parents that are doing something that they're not really enjoying. I know I do. My parents are in a career that they never really thought they would be in. My mom wanted to be a nurse, and she's not a nurse. But the reason behind, like, putting purpose behind what you're doing is that she has a family. She tossed the whole scholastic career aside because she saw her purpose in raising her kids. And there's passion in that. There's purpose in that. And I think a lot of the time that you kind of like grow up and search for something, you're not really paying attention to the fact that you just gotta live life and give purpose to the things that you're doing in your day to day. So that's my opinion, and I wanted to bring that here. Just like, how do you feel about your purpose and finding your purpose and what that means to you?
Oh.
Type.
Type.
Yeah.
Type.
What do you think?
What do I think about what you just said? Well, first of all, I finished my drawing.
Finish your drawing.
I think. I mean, I just needed like some coloring and stuff, but yeah, I think she looks, vulnerability, man. When my man's out here silent, but anyway, I'm not gonna let you. I might get dressed. Like, my bad. I get distracted so easily. Moving to the next one, but I mean, I feel like as you know, I told you my story of how many career paths I took to get to where I am right now. First, I wanted to be a eventer, event some stuff. Then I realized I had my childhood notebook. I had some ideas I wanted to event. I drew it out and everything like that. Then I realized I don't know how to build a lot of stuff that I wrote there, and I don't feel like going through classes so I can get the skills to learn any of this stuff. And this was like what 10-year-old me talking. I threw that away, and I moved on to what did I move? Man, I moved on to a whole bunch of stuff. There was always spy, of course. What kids don't want to be a spy? I did that, bro. I tried joining the CIA. Straight up, I went through the whole process. I wrote a whole essay and things like that. I feel like they said no to me because they realized that I was a foreigner. I really feel like that's the case because I was really angry. I'm like, how dare you? I wanted to go out there and do some damage, and then I decided, I decided, man, I decided let me do Homeland Security. I did Homeland Security. I got certified to be able to assist if there's any like terrorist thing or big like events happening that you need to assist people like emergency like assist people to safety and things like that. I got certified to do that, and I realized I really don't like people. I really no, like I had a whole mantra, in my head. Like I even talked to some people. I'm like, look, respectfully, if I'm doing this and like we're in a crisis and there's trucks and everything, and I'm trying to get people in them trucks, if I'll be straight up honest with you. If a little kid decides to just go off on its own, I'm sorry, we leaving them behind. Leaving them behind. The mama can be like, "No, my baby." I'm like, "Look, respectfully, ma'am, you should have hold your baby better, okay? You should never have let that kid out there playing around. I don't have time to run through all of these people look for him or her." Yeah, that's when I realized that's probably not the best field for me.
Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah, and then I joined. I like through all of the stuff I chose, or I wanted to do. I mean, and then there was music. I started writing music because just like, I don't know, just like an outlet for things I was going through, and I got really good at it, and I started hanging around with a bunch of people, a bunch of my friends back then or associate back then, who all could rap and do all this stuff, and we started making music together, and then I got into making beats, and I wanted to be a producer, and and I
joined a band.
He said what?
And then I joined a band.
I did.
Was that not? Oh.
I joined orchestra. I wanted to join the band so I can play the drum.
Orchestra.
But my mom didn't want me to do, join band because they had me use a tuba, and she was like, "Ain't no son of mine gonna be blowing on anything." I'm like, "Mom, it's not even like that." But so I joined the orchestra, and now at least I can play the violin. So I'm
Okay.
Yes sir, and the guitar. I used to play the guitar. Now I'm trying to get back at it. I can play the drum though.
Yeah, I was about to
Shut,
say.
bro, hush. I can play the drum. And like, hey, I'm musically inclined instrument wise. Like, there's a lot of instrument I can play. But yeah, I picked all of this stuff, and it just turned. None ever really stuck. Cause like you said, I was always trying to find what can I do that I can have fun with and still make money and not consider it a career, not consider like a job or a career, but just something that I love doing. That's also making a living from. And of course it was none of those stuff. And I started drawing because I always drew. Like when my sister used to draw, my older sister, she was the artist of the family, and then she stopped, and I picked it up at like I want to say age 12. And I got good at it, but I took a break because I started venturing into this different realm, looking for different stuff I wanted to do. And it turns out everything I wanted to do was, they all kind of fell into the creative realm. And, and now here I am, drawing and doing art. And even at this point, even now, I'm like, I don't really think that's my purpose. Because I'm venturing to different things that I'm doing that you and I even talked about already. Like I'm doing different things, and I'm like, hey man, this I don't want to be an animator. I don't want to animate. Who do I look like? Who do I look like sitting there drawing pictures and making stuff move and people watching on the big screen? But I do want to illustrate and do character design, but I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, what's your
ADHD.
definition of purpose?
I might have ADHD. I know I'm on the spectrum. I know I'm there somewhere. I should get tested. I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
So, thoughts about like purpose and.
That's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. What does that mean to you? The process.
But why did you say that stuff making me go through all of that? Like I went through all of their routes, and I thought it was going to lead somewhere. It lets me forgetting what I was talking about.
I don't know what you were talking about either. Like, how was I supposed to know?
You should learn to stop me by now and be like, hey, look, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even
How
think
was
you
I?
have a point. I thought I
Hey,
had a point. Okay.
you eventually got to the point where you're like, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I just let you get there. Okay, like honestly, if you started talking about a big rock, like it's a symbolic rock, I wouldn't know. Like
There
if
was a
you're
reason. There was a purpose. There's a point in all of this stuff. The point is, I hope, is that we're all going like there's. I guess there's now one purpose that we all have. I feel like when people think of purpose, they're like, what's the one thing that I'm good at that like you say, I was created for. But for me, I feel like purpose is so much more than just one singular thing. Like we go through life and we wear different, we wear all of this different masks and different disguise. And each of those masks and disguises is supposed to teach you a little bit about yourself. And you find yourself in every one of those, masks you wear. And I feel like going from, like, hey, I want to be a firefighter. And then you actually, stick to it, you try it. And then, you even if you decide, oh, this is not for me, you still take something from that helps you with the next thing that comes in, your life that you want to give it, you want to try. For me, everything that I wanted to do at the time, they all seem so they all seem so, pointless, and it wasn't connected. But the older I got, and the closer I feel like I got to things that my not even my actual purpose, is things that I actually do love. I'm realizing that every single thing that I wanted all had to do with creativity. In one way or another, it all has to do with kind of helping people. Whether that's just entertaining people or, sharing my story with people to hopefully help it to be relatable to them, or, so on. It all has to do, one of those two things. And right now for me, and that's for me, like, I don't know, I feel like that's what purpose for me means. Is just like trying different things and figuring out who you are in those things and how you can help other people, if that makes sense. Yeah, because I don't know, you're never really going to, I feel like you're never really going to find your true purpose. I don't know, honestly, that's what I feel like. I feel like the whole point in being alive is so you can, so you can search for your purpose. But and once you find your purpose, I feel like at that point it's like, once you find your purpose, hey, you lived your life. Like, what's more? Like, there's nothing more to do after you find your purpose. Like, you reach the end of the game, but you're not dead yet. So I feel like nobody, you find it. Hopefully, not everybody find their purpose. Hopefully, you find your purpose, and you can actually finally sit there and be like, hey, I can die in peace now. I like that. Yes, sir.
I don't know, bro. I feel like some people kind of figure it out early too.
That's what's up, though. It must be nice.
Like, I'm sure it is not as simple as, or not simple, but it's not in the exact words as purpose.
Yeah.
But there are people who've like found their dreams early, and kept striving to achieve those dreams at an early age. And I think, like, of course, finding your purpose is like one of the life games that we all have to play.
Yeah.
One of the things that we have to do on this earth. But also, like, finding reasons to, like, stay going.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one that, like, kind of stays in the same realm as purpose.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I've got a reason to stay going, that's, like, one of the main reasons that I'm here. That's, like, kind of like my purpose in a way. And that's why I kind of, like, I don't know. I get what you're saying, but also at the same time, purpose is kind of like what makes people like keep going, or what makes the way I think about life. It makes me want to keep going, because at the end of the day, part of your purpose is in the people around you. It's in your community. Like, you're here to support, and you're also here to be foil for the people around you. Like, that's also a sense of your purpose. But like your main goal, like the thing that makes you like keep going, or the job that you want, the people that you want to have in your village. I think that's kind of like your main purpose. But you'll always have like these other things that like keep you going, keep you alive, keep you living. That's what I kind of view as purpose in a way.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like even stuff like that, they change though. Like, like the reason for you, let's say, your reason, like the reason you have for living, to keep going is going, like right now is going to be different than the reason. It's going to be different from right now until when you hit 30 years old, because you're going to keep developing your things, and you're going to keep finding different reasons to to keep going, because not hopefully not, but like sometimes, at least in my experience, certain things that I used to be like, this is why I'm alive, this is why God made me to to be here right now, is this stuff. And then I hit a certain age, and I've realized those stuff no longer holds weights to me anymore, and they don't really help me keep going. So now I'm looking for let's say a different purpose to keep going again. And so that's what I'm saying. I feel like purpose isn't just one singular thing. Like, you can have your main purpose, but it's going to always keep changing. Because let's say your purpose, the purpose that I guess you feel like God created you for is to be a famous singer. And like once you're working towards that goal, and once you reach that goal, like, it's like, well, now what? If that's all you feel like you were made to do, then I feel like at that point you hit a little hill where there's nothing really moving. Like, all you're doing is singing and making money and doing all this stuff. But if that's the only reason why you felt like you were, the God created you, I feel like it might end up getting bored. Like, you might end up like it might not even be a reason for you to keep going, because you're like, I made it. So now you have to create a different goal. So for me, I feel like once you hit that purpose, like, you're like, okay, so I made it here. Now what else can I do to keep going? Like, what else can I do to use this, I guess platform that I have to make my life better, or to help other people. And I feel like at that point you develop another purpose. Because that's what I'm like, the only reason why I feel like the only reason why you should really stop and be like, okay, I no longer have a purpose, is when you hit the finish line. And the finish line for everybody is death. So like once you hit that area, and you're like, well, hey man, God says it's time for me to come home. Hopefully you are in heaven, but like I feel like once you hit that, then that your purpose, you accomplish your purpose in that stance. And a lot of people aren't really fortunate enough to get to that spot. And some people, they die, like really young, and you look at them, you're like, well, dang man, they have so much life left in them. And I guess in my head, even stuff like that, I view it, and I'm like, you don't know that. Like, maybe their purpose was to be alive for a certain amount of time, so they can impact certain people in their life. And once they did that, the purpose was over. Like, it sounds sad, but also I'm like, I guess like it sounds sad, but everything happens for a reason.
They said their purpose is to die.
That's the thing though. Like, it sounds really sad, but I'm like, some people's purpose is to die. Like, it sucks. Like, it really does, but I feel like in this is it's just, you hear stories of people saying, I wouldn't be who I am right now if this person, wasn't in my life. I wouldn't be who I am right now if, I didn't lose this person. And not to be geek out, let's talk about comic books. Okay? Peter Parker, bro thought his purpose was to be a what famous scientist or whatever, and it got to the point where so an incident happened, he gained superpowers, and then he started using that to make money, and then his Uncle Ben died, and he realized, crap, maybe this is my purpose. Maybe I got this power, not just to make money for myself, but to actually help people, and it caused somebody close to him to die for him to realize his purpose wasn't just this power, so he can, I guess self gain or whatever. I'm saying that wrong, but whatever. Which me personally, I mean, you God give me power. I'm using that. I'm using that for my benefit, and I'm also helping people here and there. But I'm not a hero. I don't claim to be a hero. Don't put me in that category, please. I'm not a villain either, but still. Smile. But I don't know. I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
I did, and then you started talking about Spider-Man. I was like, oh, snap, Spider-Man. And then I got distracted. So now I'm like, dang, what were we talking about?
Look, it came up in my head, and I splat it out, because if I didn't spit it out, then I was going to be my head confused. I was just going to be quiet. You going to look like, what?
Well, now I'm like, I'm a little disoriented. I'm like, man, what is he talking about, Uncle Ben? Last time I remember, it was Aunt May.
It was Uncle Ben.
It was Aunt May in the movie.
No, Uncle Ben. Well, the movie did it wrong.
Okay, but it's the newest version. So
okay, and Uncle, well, that's stupid. That's a different variant. This multiverse theory is a thing. We can talk about this later, okay? Because you got me. I really want to talk about this, but all I'm saying is, purpose changed. And if you're saying that I feel like, some people, I don't really think some people, people's purpose stay the same. It changes. Sometimes it doesn't really change that huge. So when from the outside you look at it, you're like, well, they're still a singer, but it's changing in some form.
Mm-hmm. You don't think it's like you have it at birth, but you just gotta find it? I think that's a lot of people's perspective.
Like, we're talking about philosophy. Ooh, yes! But I talked about this in my philosophy class. I was we were talking about how. Okay, let me calm down, because I really do like philosophy. Ask the question again. I'm trying to let you get hyped up.
So you think that it's not something that's assigned at birth? Because a lot of people believe that you have a purpose at birth. You just have to find it. The one that I was talking about is more like you still have a purpose at birth, but it's less of one that you have to find and more of the reasons that you have to find. You don't find the purpose, you find reasons in the thing that you're doing to be your purpose. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. But
you're thinking more of your purpose constantly shifts.
Yeah. Because I feel like a part of me do believe that there's a purpose already kind of set in line for us since birth. But there's a part of me that also believes that may be the case, but that purpose is all for us to kind of it changes as we move on, as we learn things. And, it doesn't necessarily have to completely shift. It could still be in the same realm. Just just start looking different from what we thought it was before. Because let's say you want to be you want to be an animator, or you're like, I like drawing, I like doing these things, and I want to be an illustrator or animator or whatever, and I want to be it for this reason, and you start taking steps to get to that point, and then you come to the point where you're an animator and you're doing all this stuff that you said you wanted to do, but then you come to a point you realize you're like, well, I don't want to animate for this thing, or I don't want to just animate. I just want to focus on drawing and becoming and like let's say you're like, I like kids. I want to do something revolving around kids now, and then it flips to where you're like, okay, I still want to I still want to draw. So you start going through different realms. Like, what can I do that's still going to allow me to do to use the skills that I learned and still fulfill this desire that I now have. And some people are like, I want to be an illustrator. I want to be an author. I want to write a children's book. And you still not like, it doesn't necessarily mean your purpose changed. Like, it's still there, but it just changed in a different way. Because before you just wanted to draw and do all of this stuff and make movies and things like that. But now you're using the skills that you learned from your previous, purpose to fuel your new one. So I feel like at least that's kind of what I believe. Yes, I believe that we all have a purpose put on us to be here, and it's our job to kind of like go through it and find it. But I don't think it's more as go through it and find it and have that one purpose, but just more as you're learning. I think that's what you're talking about. You're learning, there's things that you're developing. You're learning things about about yourself, about everything else that's going on around you, like the people around you. And that's also helping you develop your own purpose. Like, that's also helping you find your own purpose. And if you, I don't know. That's kind of what I meant. If you want to put a name on it, if you want to say, well, my purpose is to be a singer, then hey, you can do that too. That's totally fine. But I just don't think limiting yourself to one singular purpose is. I legit forgot where I was going with that one. But I hope you understand what I'm saying. Cause, yeah.
I was just about to make a counterpoint.
Yeah, what up?
Man, I also forgot my thought.
Yeah, man.
We're a couple of peas in the pod.
Yeah. Maybe that's our purpose.
but my counterpoint was more along the lines of, like, you have specific conditions placed upon you at birth,
Yeah.
specific conditions, and that kind of like develops your mindset off rip. And when that mindset develops, those conditions around you, they're going to change, they're going to morph.
Yeah.
But you'll still have like certain people still around you, certain living situations still upon you. And that's why I feel like it's more birth, because like when you're born, your whole personality is kind of like filtered by your environment.
Yeah.
And then you choose your path based off of like what you picked up while you were growing up. Like, take me for instance. And this is getting philosophical, but it's still along the lines of like mental health purpose. But when I was growing up, I was not as old as my other siblings. My siblings were like 8 years and above, and I didn't have a little brother until I was 5. So as I was growing up, I was more like to myself, and not like because it was my only option, more because like my siblings went to school. So they're at school, I'm at home. What am I supposed to do? I start watching TV. I start doing stuff that I just have access to. And that's kind of like filtering me into the path of like appreciating media more, which in turn made me draw more. Because I was like, the reason why I got started drawing is because I was watching Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, I draw in the church all the time. Let me see if I can draw this real quick. And then I drew it. And then from then on, I was just like drawing consistently. And of course, like you're going to develop different values than you had as a kid, but I think those values are also like shifting according to like the environment that you put yourself in.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Um, I mean, I agree with that. I feel like, I mean, the way you're raised and like your environment you're around, it does shape the way it does shape who you know who you automatically becomes. But also, I feel like also you have a it's more of a choice because like if we're saying it can be negative or it can be positive. Because if we're saying that
You got it, bro.
I know I got it.
You got it.
See, I grew up with I was the only boy in the house. Us, aside from my dad, but he was a man. I guess we can call that different. But I grew up around sisters, so whereas I learned how to, like, I had no choice but to kind of like hang out with my sisters and stuff like that. And I got closer to my little sister more because we were like more of the same age range, to the point where people started calling us twins because it's just how we were so close to each other and how we hung out and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I played with Barbies back then because because she played with Barbies. So I was it was my little sister. And if you have a little sister and you're a dude, you sacrifice, you make some compromise here and then. But it got to the point where she would play with Barbies, and since as a guy I would play, I had to call action figures, and we would play with, and we would kind of like match it together, so we can create we can show our own personality in it. And I feel like with stuff like that, just hang around with them like that, I don't know. I guess in a sense, it taught me how to appreciate women. I don't know, but I feel like since I didn't really have, since I didn't really have a guy to play with and hang out with, stuff like that, I don't really get along with a lot. Like, I choose solitude versus hanging around with people. I don't know if that makes sense. I really don't. Like, I had a whole thing in my head, and my brain is on some. My brain is on some. I don't know what my brain is doing. I don't know. Scratch everything I just said. Scratch everything I just said.
Oh.
Forget everything I just said. Yeah, totally, man. I don't know.
So were you gonna get to a point, or
Colin, bro?
Just forget a point. The point doesn't matter.
Forget the point doesn't matter. There was a point in there somewhere. It's just not there anymore. Because I started thinking about spaghetti, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. I started thinking about spaghetti. I started thinking about anime. My brain is like, my brain's on one tonight. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say. Hopefully, I'll pick up from that.
I don't have a pickup from there,
Okay,
but I was going to say that my storm drawing right now is actually pretty fire. I want to just like zoom in real quick. Of course, guys, I don't know if you've like noticed this, but like in the past, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 videos, my drawing has completely been like not in tune with the actual recording. Like, I'm pretty sure the last upload that I did, and I'm gonna call it, or not call it. It was called like something chaos. I forgot it. I forgot the title already. But while I was like editing that video, I realized my drawing was like completely off. There is like no way that it was in tune with like what we were doing and what we were talking about at all. So hopefully this is lined up.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Hopefully, because like honestly, it's looking great. I haven't drawn in a while. I haven't painted in a while either. I miss it.
Well, hey, look at you doing it now. But anyway, All I'm saying is, I feel like purpose. At least, yes, I believe that since birth, will like there's a we'll put in what since birth we're all given a purpose, and some people find it. Some people, get it. I feel like I don't even think some people find it sooner. I just feel like some people get to their purpose a little bit sooner than some other people. I feel like the main purpose. If we're calling it main purpose, I think of the main purpose as a door, and once like that's the door to where once you open it, you have all of this other different stuff that you can do with that purpose, and you can just keep on adding to it every single time until you die, if you choose to do so. Because we have
If you choose to
we
die.
have we have no if you choose to keep actually adding on to more stuff onto that purpose and just making that even I guess even more of the bigger purpose. Because a lot of people, once they get to that door and they're like, okay, cool, I made it, it's just they don't really know what to do anymore. And some people start drinking more. Some people start falling into depression because they're just like, I don't know what to do anymore. I feel lost. Like, I got everything I wanted, now what? Type of
Yeah.
situation. So that's what I'm saying. Like, for them, they could be like, this is my purpose, but now it's killing them because they feel like there's nothing else for them to do, like nothing left to do. So they just saw going to this little
Yeah.
yeah
I think it's a good idea to just like set goals,
yeah
and these goals are not your purpose. They're not your purpose. Your purpose in life, and I'll stick to my belief. I do like that we do have like these differing like opinions about it, but I
Yeah.
think it's like you gotta put purpose to the things that you're doing.
yeah
At the end of the day, if you're over here thinking my purpose is to be an artist, but you're not getting paid, or you're not getting paid for your art, you don't think you're going to be able to do art anytime soon. You're just stuck working at a laundromat. You're gonna think, oh man, I'm not doing my purpose, life sucks, you
Yeah.
know. But your purpose at that point in time, I think that's what Minnie's kind of hitting on. You're going to have different purposes throughout the different points in your life.
Yeah.
And that won't always be like the main purpose. I don't know if you're going to even have a main purpose. Like if there's something that's like ultimately what you're there for in life, like what you're put on this earth to do. But finding purpose in the stuff that you're doing at the time, finding purpose in the mundane things in life that are absolutely not radical at all, that's the thing that you want to have.
Yeah.
And the mindset that you want to have, because having this mindset of just like I have to find a purpose and this ultimate thing, which is what I'm meant to do in life, it's kind of exhausting.
It is.
I know it was exhausting for me when I first got out of college. I was over here thinking like, okay, my purpose is to be an art director. I have to do whatever I can to get into that position. And obviously, with that type of mindset, you don't really feel like waiting. You're
Yeah.
like, I want to be in that now.
Exactly.
But finding purpose in the stuff that you're doing in the meantime, the mundane, that's what I believe like your true life purpose is.
Yeah, no.
Like
So
having the mindset to just like go with the times that you're in and finding purpose based off of the things that you're doing, but still setting goals so you can ultimately get to that place that you want to be.
yeah. I totally agree. like I guess the way I'll say is my purpose is find my purpose. And that's what I feel like is a simple. At least for me, it's not simple, but like I'll say as simple as that. My purpose is to find my purpose. Cause I don't, cause you don't know what your purpose is, even if you're living it right now. Because for you, your purpose, I feel everybody wants their purpose to be, well, not everybody, because some majority of people wants their purpose to be something really big, where they're like, yeah, I'm doing all this great stuff, I'm making so much money, I'm doing this and this, but your purpose can be as simple as just being alive to. Like being alive, so you can meet a certain person, and say just one thing to them that changes their life. That could be as simple as that. That could be your purpose. And like when I say some people's purpose is to be alive but not live until a certain age. Like I say that because I had a conversation with one of my a friend that I used to talk to, and they were telling me how. One of their family member died, and they were, they were only a kid. Like they died at like age 10 or whatever, and then they didn't get a chance to kind of live their life, to be with them and surround them and things like that. But while they were talking to me, I'm realizing I'm like, okay, well, that's sad. I'm sorry about that. It happened, and it sucks. But now look at like the way I view that is, if they still lived the way they were, if they still, lived past 10, then there's a chance that you wouldn't be this person you are right now. And that's, that sounds really bad to say that, or in order for me to be this person, you have to die. But it's more in the sense where, they helped you in the way that they can. And now, because that person, started wanting to work with kids and things like that. So I'm like, and now you want to work with kids and just like help them with problems that your little brother or your little sister dealt with. And I'm like, see, in the way I'm like, their purpose was to inspire you to do all of this stuff, and now you have a choice to if you have a choice to either let that kind of like I guess like bring you into like sadness or whatever, and be like, well, I don't want to do this because it reminds me of them, or to use that as a fuel to actually keep going. Because if you could use it as a fuel to keep going, yes, they may be dead, but they're still living through you. They're still living through your purpose. They're still living through the lives that you're going to end up changing for whatever kids that you end up working with and so on. So like when I say some people's purpose is to die, it doesn't mean, I'm not saying in a way to say it in a morbid way, like, oh, they're just here to die, like, I'm just saying, it's probably, everybody has a reason why they're alive, and some people's reason is just, to live a certain amount of time and then inspire certain people, and then just, and then God's like, hey, you did your job, there's no more, for you, and for all I guess like, I don't believe in reincarnation, but I'm like, for all like the next person you meet, it might be a resemblance of that person. Like, and that doesn't necessarily mean they're alive, but I don't know, that's my brain goes goes to too many stuff, but
yeah. I also had a thought while you were talking.
Yeah, what up?
Guess what, bro? I forgot it. It's really
bro. You gotta
unfortunate.
stop. You gotta start writing your stuff down. You gotta start writing this stuff down, bro.
Like you could see the visual of my like eyes lighting up and opening my mouth, and
bro,
I was like about to say
it.
something. I
You
was about to
should've
say
just
something,
said
and
it.
then gone.
You should have just spit it out. I would have stopped right there. I'm like, hey, go ahead, broski. You should have just spit it out. Like, if I inspire you something out of you, bro, I need just go ahead and say it. You can stop me wherever you want. Just like, hey, hold on, give me real quick. And then I was trying to remember what I was gonna say, or it might send this conversation to a whole different thing. Next time, just do that. I appreciate you letting me finish, but next time, just like interrupt me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's about it, honestly.
I was like about to say like I know it had to do with how you were saying like dying young, like people dying young, and I don't know. I'm really trying to remember it right now, but it's probably just gonna end up in flames, cause like I get halfway to the thought and I'm like, no, that's not it.
Yeah, no, I get that. But yeah, I don't know. Some people just, purpose is to inspire you and like inspire you, and then move on. Like, and some people, and like the depression and stuff that we go through, that might be your purpose. Like I know me, like what happened, the incident happened like in college and stuff like that. Like I went through all of this stuff, and I had two people telling me the same thing. They're like, "Hey, Benny, I know things are getting tough, and I know you feel like you want to end it all, but think about it in this way. Maybe everything that you're going through right now isn't meant for you. Isn't meant to help you. It's meant for whoever you're going to meet next, so you can help them because you'll be able to relate to them because you went through all of this stuff. Maybe it's more for somebody else than it is for you, and it sucks that you're going through it. But maybe it's just God's way of saying, "Hey, I need you to go through this, so you can be more, I guess, more experienced in this, because I'm going to bring somebody else that's really going to need your help." And if you were to end your life right here, that person's life is not going to look the way I need it to look. And God moves things differently. He can always change it up and help figure a different way to help that person. But maybe the original plan was for me to meet that person, and I don't know whether that's true or not. I don't know who that person is. It could be one of you out there. If it is, hey, what up? I suffer for you. That's so messed up. I suffered for you, and you owe me money now.
Oh,
I'm charging my suffering, bro. I'm not Jesus. I'm charging my suffering. I'm just playing. But yeah, sometimes we go through pain and suffering, not because we deserve it, and not because it's there to help us, but it's there to help somebody else. You never know. Life works in a mysterious way.
yeah, and then you kind of just like have this interchangeable thing where like everybody just affects everybody. We're
Unfortunately.
all just kind of like in one little hodgepodge,
Yeah. Yeah.
helping each other out.
Yeah. Even against your will.
Oh,
I'm just like, this is totally, it's probably the same thing, but I just want to say this because, I thought about it. Like, there's a saying that, I don't know if you heard it. Like, people say, whenever our life is lost, our life is, another one is born. I'm saying it all over the place. But, one person loses their life, a baby's born. Like, I don't know how how true, if I really believe that, but that's more in the sense, like, sometimes, for all if somebody died, their purpose is like, hey, you want this stuff, you did what you had to do, they died, and then, in order for another person to be born, this particular person had to die. And it sounds sad, it sucks, but, and there could be truth to that. Like, yeah, man, that's all I say, and so, if you ever die, bro, just know you're not dying in vain. Okay, somebody else is being born in your place, and hopefully they don't become the next Hitler.
oh,
Because that would so suck if you meet that if you're out there, up there or down there, looking up or looking down, you're like, wow. So you're telling me I lived a good life and I did all this stuff, and now he or she gonna be born to kill millions of people? That's who I'm connected to now? That's crazy. Yeah.
that's
it makes
who I'm
sense
connected
though.
to. It's crazy.
It makes sense though.
You make it seem like it's spirit ties.
You
Like
said what?
he's not tied to my spirit, bro. And if he is, I am letting him go.
I don't think that's how it's gonna work.
I'm gonna be like, get that.
He's going, no, I think he's going. He's like, ooh, you know, sir, I'm stuck with you. You gotta guide me through this life, like Soul, the movie Soul. That was a good movie. You should watch it if you haven't. SOUL.
I think the thing that I was thinking about was like you have your life purpose early, and never mind, I don't have it.
I feel like you're gonna think about it once we end this live.
Oh, I'm so angry. I'm so upset.
Hey man,
Anyway.
I'm upset too, bro, because I feel like I got you in a place where you were really happy, and I want to, you know, you thought about something, now you forgot it. So if you think about it while we end this, just let me know, and we can hop back in. Just make a 20 minutes episode just for that.
Benny, got any more thoughts you want to share?
Bro, I always got thoughts, but it's better to not share.
All right. Thanks for coming, guys. We really appreciate you watching the video, coming to support. Sorry if I sound a little sick still. I still can't breathe. In fact, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I was like genuinely struggling while I was like talking for a long time at the beginning. I'm even struggling right now. So I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. Please like, subscribe, share the video,
comments,
and comment too.
Hey man,
and
go ahead.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, maybe that's your purpose.
Oh right, forgot to say. Sorry, a little awkward. My bad. Drop your opinion of like finding your purpose as well in the comments. Like, what do you think finding your purpose is? Your idea of what purpose is, all that. Join the conversation.
Yes,
that was our last bit.
Please, I want to hear what y'all gotta say.
I was just in a rush because like I couldn't breathe, so my fault. Now deuces.
All right, man. See you.